I live on a private canal in Florida with my family. It's a 15-minute ride from the canal to the ocean. We have jet skis and a boat, a 35-footer 2007 Proline Express, which is my dad's pride and joy. My sister and I use the jet skis. Our Florida house is in a gated community and is our main residence. Our parents are often away, leaving the house to my sister, our dog, and me. Sometimes we have parties in the backyard because our house is the last one on the canal next to a marsh, offering privacy. One hot day, my sister and I took our jet skis out. After riding around, we stopped in the bay to relax.
Soon, an older man on a boat approached us, making conversation. He was in his late 50s or early 60s, a bit heavy-set, with a beer in hand while driving the boat. He talked about his jet skis and house on the water, inviting us to swim in his pool. When we declined, he asked where we were from. We gave vague answers and decided to leave.
As we idled through the canal, we noticed a boat behind us, similar to the man's boat. It slowly drifted forward, passing our canal. We didn't know if he followed us or lived nearby, but we docked our jet skis and started washing them.
Then the man's boat approached our house and he started talking to us again, complimenting our house and backyard.
My sister called him out for following us, and he claimed to live in the community and just wanted to check out our canal.
He eventually left, but we didn't wave back. That night, our dog barked, waking us up. I saw a large person running across the yard towards the dock and jumping into something in the water. We ran downstairs but saw nothing. It had to be the creepy man. We asked neighbors if they had cameras, but no one did. Now whenever we go out on the boat or jet skis, we keep an eye out for that man and his boat. It was the 80s. My dad and Uncle Jack were avid fishermen and would go deep-sea fishing a few times a year in my uncle's 70s two-cabin cruiser. Uncle Jack lived in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where he docked his boat. My dad would visit to go out to sea for a night with my uncle. I'm not into fishing, but I know they went for striped bass, tuna, and cod, going about 20 miles out to sea.
One night, it was unexpectedly cloudy with a new moon. We were in the cabin having a beer and playing cards after supper when the boat's lights died. I checked the circuit panel with a flashlight and found 2 fuses had blown, leaving almost all the lights, including the running lights, out. We decided to call it a night early and wait until dawn to head back.
An hour later, they heard a strange humming sound from about 20 meters away. They stepped onto the deck but couldn't see anything due to the darkness. The sound didn't resemble any fish. It sounded like a person groaning. With the flashlight, they could only see about 5 meters ahead. It started to rain, so they went inside the cabin. Driving the boat in pitch blackness and rain would have been dangerous, so they went to sleep. At dawn, Uncle Jack woke my dad to show him another boat floating nearby through the fog.
We approached the boat and blew the whistle to get anyone's attention. The boat looked abandoned.
Uncle Jack jumped onto it and entered the cabin, where he found a man hanging by a rope. He ran back to his boat and threw up.
My dad didn't go down to see the body. We marked our coordinates and contacted the nearest Coast Guard station.
The Coast Guard arrived within an hour, and only then did my dad and uncle head back to shore. They still don't know what the humming sound was, but the experience haunts my uncle the most because he saw the body. My friend Kyle has a 27-foot center console boat, making him the go-to friend for boat days in the summer. I'm not an expert, but he has some kind of radar on his boat that warns of land masses, shallow waters, and other boats, allowing us to stay out past dark. The boat comfortably fits about 8 people.
One hot mid-July day, I took 5 of us out to drink in the bay. Later we docked at a waterfront bar restaurant where we ate, drank, and chilled for a few more hours. With a cooler still full of spiked seltzers and it being a Friday night, I took us back to the middle of the lagoon, where we cruised slowly with music blasting. I don't really drink, so I just enjoy boating you all around.
We passed by the lighthouse on the barrier island and discussed how eerie lighthouses are at night. Kyle cut the engine and we floated in place with the music playing. As everyone talked, I was mesmerized by the lighthouse, and that's when I heard a distant scream.
I yelled for the music to be cut, and when it was, I told everyone I heard a scream.
We floated near an island between the mainland and the barrier island, and sure enough, a woman's scream for help came from that island.
Help, I'm being followed.
We yelled back, and she confirmed she was on the island. Kyle started the engine and took us to the island.
We anchored and all 6 of us got off the boat to look for her, calling out as we searched.
The situation became more concerning when she said she was being followed. The island wasn't large, and with 6 of us searching with flashlights, we should have found her. Suddenly, on the opposite side of the island, we heard a blood-curdling scream. We ran as fast as we could through painful brush, and when we reached the other side my feet were bleeding, but there was no one there.
Kyle and Jake were already there and heard a boat motor driving away. There was a fresh wake in the water, but it was too dark to see anything.
I called 911 to report it, and Bay Patrol came to Kyle's boat. We told the officers what happened, leading to a manhunt. I don't think the boat was ever found because it didn't make the news. By the time we searched, the island was empty. We were so freaked out that Kyle took us back to the marina, and we ended up chilling in his backyard, talking about what happened. To this day, we don't know what that was about. There were no reports of missing women, and we'll probably never know if it was a kidnapping or a cruel prank.